Nice. Now I'll show you what this thing actually looks like when you're out there, because we see 30 families a day, and what you find like in business in general, not just Southwestern, but any company that's been around for any length of time, in business you find that certain metrics start to show themselves. So if I was the VP of marketing and sales for, say, Southwest Airlines, working with Chase in the credit card department, and we send out direct mailings, I would know the metrics. I would know that if you have 10,000 applications, like they're the mailings that go out, that we can expect to have, say, 12 people respond back with an application for a credit card, and out of those, 7 will be approved by the credit. Does that make sense? If you've done this on a large enough scale, you know what the numbers are. I just made those up for Southwest Airlines, so I have no idea what theirs are. But I know with Southwestern, we've been around for 150 years, and out of a 30-house sample size, what you're going to find is that people fall in different camps. There's some people that just are easy. They're fun, they're outgoing, they don't have a lot of sales resistance towards people. They see a good product, a good price, helps their kids, and they just buy. Like 2 of them a day are just gimmies. As long as you show up and you do the sales talk the way we teach, and as long as you're in a good mood, 2 of them are just going to buy. Does that make sense? Now you got another 10 or so that you've got a shot at. These ones could buy, depending on your skill level. Like the very, very, very best people in our company sell to 10 or 12 a day. So there's 10 or 12 out there today that could buy. Now these ones take a lot. Those take knowing your school district really well. It takes connecting over names really well of people that have already bought. It takes really actively listening, asking good questions, painting good pictures. Like, there's a lot of parts of the sales process, helping people through fear to make a decision. So most of our first year students are just getting their gimmies, along with maybe 1 or 2 others of the in-between. The rest of these folks you got no shot at. They're just not going to buy. You could be the best person in the history company. You could be Dustin Hillis, who made $100,000 in this job in a single summer, his 3rd summer. Yeah, company record. You could be Dustin, and these people are still not going to buy. Doesn't matter how good you are. Do you know any folks like that? Parents, aunts, uncles? Yeah, I think my parents are probably one of these. They could buy. I've definitely seen them buy from door-to-door salespeople, but I wouldn't say that they're easy. They're not buyers. I am a buyer. I'm one of these. I'm super easy. I donate to everyone who comes to my door. I've bought the really expensive vacuum cleaner. I'm super easy. If you come to my door, you're probably making a sale. So, and what you find is, this is what a random assortment of 30 houses looks like. So the challenge with this job is that every day it's going to look very different, and you don't know where those buyers fall. So I want to walk you through your very first day on the book field, the very first day you do this job, and kind of what this job feels like when you're out there. Sound cool?
Yep.
So let's say you started your day right here. This is very similar to how my first day ever went in Texas. So, that was 2004, summer. First house I went to just got blown off. No big deal. They were friendly. Just like, yeah, it's all right. I think we're all set. And if it's your first house and you're pumped up because it's your very first day, do you think your first no really bothers you that much? Nah, you're just like, yeah, cool, no big deal. Went to the next house. Family is absolutely awesome. And this took very little skill to sell to. This lady, I butchered half the sales talk. I showed it to her on the porch. I was in the country of Texas. And I'm pretty sure that in East Texas it's state law that you need 2 giant dogs. It's just like they all had huge dogs out there. So this entire presentation, and to give you an idea of how much I didn't grow up around dogs, so this was kind of a foreign land to me. I grew up with cats. And so this dog was like all over me while I was waiting for the mom to come to the door, just slobbering on me. So I picked up a tennis ball and just chucked it. And in my head that was smart to get rid of the dog. But what does that mean? It happened the whole rest of the time.
Kept coming back.
Yep. So my entire first presentation, I was playing fetch with the dog. So we were sitting on the porch, and I was like throwing a tennis ball. I'm like, yeah, these are really awesome. I was like throwing it again. I was like, yeah, so there's colors and shapes, and they're really awesome. And I was just showing the little kid set of books. And the mom took them and started flipping through them. And she's like, wow, these are awesome. How much are they? I told her the price. She was like, yeah, okay, we'll get them. I didn't even have to go through the clothes that we teach. It was just it was a start. It was easy. If she was going to buy, it didn't matter if I was good or bad. And what you're going to find, Molly, is that in this job, a lot of times sales will come in clumps because you have so much momentum when you leave this house. If Jessica buys, and all of a sudden you go across the street to Caitlin, and Caitlin and Jessica are best friends, and at the door you're like, yeah, just with Jessica, like, oh, yeah, here, yeah, something she had picked up for Taylor. Then how much more likely do you think it is that her best friend buys?
Quite a bit.
Yep. So now Caitlin's not a gimme. She's not a star. But on that given day, she does buy just based on the momentum you've got. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now, how excited do you think you are coming out of your first 3 houses?
Feeling pretty good.
Yep, you're like, man, Aaron and Ben were telling me how hard this is. Everyone buys these things. This is awesome. I love this job. You've made $150 already and spent like an hour. Like, this is a fun job. I'm in. Next one blows you off, but you don't even care because you're so pumped. Next one lets you in. They almost buy because they know Caitlin and Jessica, but they just end up procrastinating, and no big deal. This one blows you off the door. This one lets you in and almost buys but doesn't. Then you go into your next buyer. Super easy, fun, cool family. They're struggling with math. You sell math study guides. It's kind of a no-brainer. They get us that. You're pumped. This one, you're almost like too overexcited, and you just expect them to buy, and you kind of just oversell it a little bit too hard, so they end up not buying. Get blown off, get blown off. Lets you in but doesn't buy, get blown off, get blown off. Lets you in but doesn't buy, get blown off. Lets you in but doesn't buy, get blown off. Lets you in but doesn't buy, get blown off. At this point, it's kind of been like a 4-hour sort of slow stretch. You get a little bit tight at that point. You're not really in a bad mood because you've already made $250 that day and had 3 awesome families you already met. You've already sat down with a lot of people. And honestly, in this job, when you're sitting down with people, it's fun. Like, if you've sat down with 3 to 4 people, each 2-hour to 3-hour period, even if none of them buy, it's actually a pretty fun job. This job's just hard when you're getting blown off the door and you're not getting in houses. So even though it was a slow sales period here, you're still probably in a pretty good mood by the time 5 o'clock rolls around. Does that make sense? So you get to 5 o'clock, we go back to where we started the day, at that part of the neighborhood. That's what we call gravy, and we catch up with all those double income families, the folks that you missed during the day if they're both at work. So you're back at the neighborhood, get blown off, get blown off, get blown off, get blown off. It's easy to kind of start to be like, all right, but thankfully you're on the same street as all these customers now. You get to this house, they know Jessica, they know Caitlin, they know the Robinsons. This mom lets you in. She is not a gimme, but because of the fact that you have all that momentum from those people, they end up buying. Get blown off, get blown off, get blown off. You get one late presentation, they don't end up buying. And that's your day. By the end of the day, you sat down 12 people, you had 4 customers, made about $300. Do you think you'd be pretty excited about your first day in your internship if that was your first day?
Probably.
Yes, you would definitely be excited. My first day, I had 6 customers, made about $500. I came out that day thinking, I'm going to be number 1 in the company. Like, this job's easy. This job's awesome, The hard part is, the very next day, I started over here. Now, I had already done pretty well, so I had a little bit of confidence kind of stored up in the emotional bank account. But if this was your very first day, let's say you started here, the very first house, get blown off the door, get blown off the door, get blown off the door, get blown off the door. This one lets you in but doesn't buy. Get blown off the door, get blown off the door, get blown off the door. Now, I just explained that in about 30 seconds, but that took place over the course of about 4 hours. So if you just spent 4 hours just getting blown off, like just bouncing from rejection to rejection to rejection with only one presentation in between, and they didn't buy, because on that given day you didn't already have a bunch of those names rolling, so this one doesn't buy.
Okay, so you'll make the first step.
Can you see how it'd be easy to start to get a little bit tense at that point, especially with your first day, and just be like, man, does this even work? Like, I feel like I'm doing what Ben's coaching me on. I feel like I'm coachable. Like, I think my approach is I don't know, I feel like I'm doing the words the company teaches. It's easy to start to question, like, is this working? What's going on? And these ones are not guaranteed to let you in. If if you're in a bad mood, do you think anyone's going to let you in? Nope. Your buyers are not guaranteed to buy. You can definitely screw up your buyers if you're in a bad mood when you get there. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, say that you don't screw that one up. You get in, they don't buy, but you get a presentation, blown off the door, just kind of starting to get frustrated. At this point, it's 1:30, it's hot out, your attitude's starting to slip, so you screw this one up, you don't get in, get blown off the door, get blown off the door. We'll say you do get in that one, get blown off, you screw up this one, just like, get blown off, let you doesn't buy, get blown off, and now you're here. And it's 5:20. Previous day, you were sitting on 3 customers having made $250 that day by the time you got to 5:20. Today, you are sitting on 0, having worked about 9 hours, so you're currently making $0 per hour. Not very good hourly. You only have 1, 2, 3, 4 presentations over the course of those entire 9 hours. About 1 presentation every 2 hours. Can you see how it'd be really easy to have low confidence at this point? And this is, so let's pretend you're in my neighborhood. Let's pretend you're working over here in Okemos, and now you come to my door. And I'm a buyer. But it's 5:15, you come to the door, and it's like, hey, you're starting to go through your present, just kind of your approach, the way we teach it. And I'm like, oh gosh, Molly, sounds cool. We're just about to get dinner on the table, which is a very generic objection that you're going to hear a lot between 5 and 7:30. If you're cool at that point and laid back, and you're not carrying all this baggage with you from the day, if you're just having fun, you're like, well, all right, I guess if you insist, I could eat. Just have fun. And I'll probably laugh and be like, well, what are you selling? And it's like, oh, it just takes 5 or 10 minutes, and some books help get the kids ready for school. It's like, all right, 5 or 10 minutes, all right, come on in. I'll let you in. If you're just laid back, joke around, not a big deal. And then I buy. And now you go across the street to this house. It's Courtney and Jessica. Courtney is the AP history teacher at Okemos. And they have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, and an infant, just like we have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old infant. We go to the same church. They play together all the time. Like, we're good friends with them. Because we bought, they let you in. They're not a gimme normally. I mean, they're not like, I don't know if they'd be hard to sell to, but they're certainly not a gimme. But because we bought, they buy. Then you unlock the door, get in a presentation on buy, give them an off presentation buy, you get your other gimme. And let's say this one doesn't end up buying, but by the end of the day, you end up having 3 customers, make $200, you get an awesome finish to the day. Like, how proud of yourself do you think you would be after keeping your attitude up and having that kind of finish? You would be so proud of yourself. You'd be so proud of yourself. The hard part is if you come to this point of the day and you're down and you're sulking and you're no longer doing the job the way we teach it, you're no longer, still having fun with people and treating this mom like the first house of the day, then I say, hey, we're just kind of getting dinner on the table. And how easy would it be to say, oh, okay, well, sorry to bother you, have good dinner and grab your bag and just leave. How easy would that be to do?
Order ready for Lou?
Yep. And now you just lost your gimme. And then what you also, not only did you lose your gimme, then you lost Courtney and Jessica also. And you don't realize it at the time because, it's your first day, but he was the AP history teacher. Now, having the AP history teacher on your names list, on your Facebook page, as one of your customers, do you think that's going to help you sell a lot of books throughout the course of the summer? Yep. I'm really connected with our church. Really connected in with, so all of a sudden, by having sold to me and having sold to Courtney and Jessica, you have so many, this job is momentum. This job is not just a sales gig where every day you start from scratch with 0 sales.
Order ready for Marita?
This job, you build momentum with names, with information about your school district. So that's why you just gotta guard your heart, because if you guard your heart, you're gonna finish out strong, and this, man, you'll be so thankful throughout the course of summer, because me and Courtney are gonna sell a lot of books for you throughout the course of the summer. But it takes guarding your heart by the time you get to that point. Is this helpful to see?
Yeah.
Because this job is such a crapshoot, it's just the way there is 0 luck in this job. Who does well? 0 luck. On a weekly basis and on a summer basis. But on a house-by-house basis, does luck play a role?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're going to a star, it's like, if I just gave you one house to sell to, it's luck. Could be a guaranteed no, could be a guaranteed yes. Could be an in-between. But if I give you 2,500 houses to go knock out for the course of the summer, does luck play a role at that point? Nope. The key is just whoever works the hardest has the best attitude. Because if instead of going to see 30 families a day, let's say you go see 45 because you work harder than everybody else, what does that mean? It means you got an extra buyer somewhere in here, right? It means you also have 3 or 4 others that, could buy. At that point, you're just working the numbers, and not only do you have more buyers in the sample size, but you also are getting more practice, you're getting more reps, and it's just like basketball, If I take 30 free throws a day and you take 45, the difference in our skill set might not be readily apparent the first week, but over the course of the entire summer, who's going to get better free throws? Yep, 50% more practice. Is this helpful?
Yes.
What do you think about this whole thing?
I like how you started one way and then showed it going the other way to show how much of a dynamic there is and how your day can really go. And showing when you get to this point, you might be frustrated, but you have houses that you still need to get to. You have to keep your positive attitude.
Yeah.
It's good to see it that way.
Think you could do that? Think you could keep your attitude up?